had to sort of revert to a model where we've had to go out to tender for business for private training contractors with employers, etc. So that's sort of the nature of our business. In terms of sort of the background, so what was the background to this initiative? Well, as an investor in People Gold and Champion, we were already doing a lot of stuff that we felt were really good practice anyway. You know, the cycle to work scheme, the gym, hair and beauty, generous holidays, etc. But a couple of key reports, we felt that there's something missing. You know, reports of stress were on the increase generally, not just for education, but nationally. You know, the issue of raised blood pressure related to stress was sort of creeping in. The issues of retention with staff in the sector. And I suppose this was an initiative driven from the very top, our principal, Dr. Paul Phillips. And he was concerned about some of the reports that were coming through there on the left. And I suppose whilst we were looking at this primarily for students in the first beginning, he wanted us to kind of think, could we do this for staff? Could we create this culture of positive mental health and well-being? And I suppose what I'm saying there, it's beyond a couple of initiatives that were running in silo. It was bringing this framework together, starting with a strategy, linking up our departments, HR with some of the proven benefits for exercise with sport, bringing in expertise, looking at CPD, mental health first aid training, and lots of different activities, and of course using technology as well to widen participation. So the initiative, it was really beyond, again, as I keep stressing, it was this culture change, and it was to kind of say, yes, it's okay to talk about, you know, if you've got stress issues, we wanted employees to come in and think, we wanted to lift the lid and say it's okay to be stressed, and we've got help in place. With peer mentoring is a fantastic strategy that we've opened up to sustain the initiative. That's been a great success. And of course, we've got our key drivers as a business that we were trying to achieve, as well with our student outcomes, our staff attendance, retention, job satisfaction, etc. And we wanted our teachers to continually inspire within the classroom. And it was about, for us, becoming the employer of a choice and building those community partnerships. So I suppose you might want to ask, well, what exactly is it? This body and mind sort of framework? Well, of course, we start with the strategies we've said, and this would give you some idea of the type of activities that's gone on, and it's sort of really embedded. So when you log in to your screen in the morning, you get the whole calendar coming up, and what this has done is change the culture within staff, so that staff bring this up to team meetings, so that whole team building happens around some of these activities, whether staff want to do a weekly mindfulness session together or yoga. It's all linked to our sort of iTrent system in there, and we have invested in mental health practitioners, and again we've trained people in mental health. I think 187 staff are trained across the organisation to help self-help strategies. And the peer mentoring has been a great success to embed that. And as you can see, the stress level impact already from doing the body and mind activities has been amazing. So in terms of planning and investment, well, as I said before, we work within an Investors in People Champion framework. We've just been announced as champion actually for that just last week, putting us in the top 1% of businesses. And so we were able to build in the framework in terms of planning, very one-to-one led meetings that work throughout the organisation to make sure all of the objectives to do with the body and mind and the training and everything and all the activities were put in place. So both achieved there on budget and on time. So there was a significant investment made by the principal, big buy-in from leadership, I can't stress that enough. And the working party was set up to manage the initiative, and almost I would say that the principal said, okay, to the working party, it's self-creation, come up with some ideas, let me hear what you want to think. And they led this strategy very organically from there, and they do continuous improvement with lots of feedback sessions, etc. Throughout the initiative. And as you can see there's lots of social media used. It's not just a one-stop thing that we put in. The whole ethos is embedded there, whether it's people out walking, whether it's staff doing mental health awareness, whether it's empowerment activities. And you can see Anna Williamson there for our keynote speaker for a national conference that we've just rang. That's another initiative for employers, because what we feel is that we've got a lot of expertise here to share with employers, and employers businesses are really buying into it. In terms of our stakeholders, obviously we've had our key body and mind working party, and we also have our community stakeholders, which we were really advanced with anyway. We had lots of partnerships, but we weren't engaging with them on this level. So it's about speaking to the local gyms, the charities, bringing in celebrity chefs, for example, on healthy eating. And it's really engaged our community and, you know, helped to achieve some fantastic outcomes in terms of engaging local people into sport, etc. And national stakeholders, were the first college and only educational establishment to become a trailblazer for Young Minds, a national trailblazer. So to give you some idea of the employers that we work with that have been engaged and that have been coming to us now saying, we've heard about this model, how can we put it into place? And I suppose when you're looking at award winners this morning, it's about looking at maybe who is making a change beyond their organisation, and we feel with this organisation that we're sharing lots of best practice. So again, the staff mentoring, everyone that joins is given a new mentor. You can see on the left above our benchmarks, we're really performing in terms of our job satisfaction and our customers. And we've expanded our mentoring to digital advocates as well, to help people. That can be a big source of anxiety, new technology, so we've recognised that. But the big win was coming in with COVID-19 for the My Virtual College. So when that hit on day one, prepared readiness, we were able to switch over those body and mind activities so that staff started to do their own self-isolation groups. So everybody started to do their Netflix Natters initiative, and so it would become really organic, but we were able to keep that going through COVID. And the impact and benefits, of course, you've seen in our submission, obviously our students increase, the success, our staff retention has improved, absences have gone down. We've, as a business, we've been more creative, we've run contracts, and we've got numerous awards that have run as Employer of the Year, as our reputation as a go-to employer. And we've really sustained some of those partnerships in the community so that even schools are engaging much early on in that whole mental health and wellbeing debate. We've shared best practice, as I've said, with our mental health conference, with over 187 delegates attending to that. Just really quickly, I'm just going to show this. Short in case we're short on time, but hopefully that will give you a flavour of all the initiatives. We had 345 staff that engaged in body and mind activities, whether that was yoga, some of the initiatives that we talked on there. So it was a real great success that we'd had that embedded culture in advance of COVID-19. So I'm just going to hand you over to Georgie. Off you go, Georgie, who's our lead mental health practitioner.
Good morning, everybody. Lovely to be here. Just wanted to run through some slides that shows exactly how we developed this model. We really started our number one with the workforce development. We wanted to buck the trend. We really wanted to change the culture in the workplace. We know from psychological research, it's really difficult in a workplace. Your conversations are generally, how are you? I'm fine. And that's the end of the interaction. But we wanted to go beyond that. We wanted to equip our staff with active listening skills. We wanted to equip them with the skills to have meaningful conversations and to really spark a genuine interest in the responses of each work colleagues. We've taught our staff through emotional literacy and various training that most of what we do is non-verbal, and we've taught them that it's all about time. We've allowed people that it's acceptable to talk about stress. We've given out through mental health first aid, and we've made it a bit more acceptable to discuss that. So to start with, at the very basic level, we've implemented some really basic things that aren't difficult to do. It wouldn't just work like this across education. This is for every single workplace, anybody who employs human beings. It's about becoming a bit more psychologically informed on basic human interaction skills, which has been really appreciated by our staff. So firstly, this started with a real commitment to our strategy and to changing the culture. Moving on to the next slide, if that's okay, Michelle. So number 2, our whole body and mind initiative, you will see there, really popular 5 ways to wellbeing from the NHS. We are lucky enough to be able to deliver this Connect 5 training, to be able to deliver mental health first aid training, but it really starts with a need for change, the creation of a strategy. You can sign a workplace wellbeing charter, which we did, and the real skills and the real talent in this is found within the workforce. We've gone out to businesses and we've taught them how easy it is to replicate this strategy. Once you find people having these conversations, people have a genuine interest in other people. They want to help people. We're all interested in mental health and well-being. And when you spark a fire, these people then become your peer mentors, your workplace well-being champions. And it really does start simple. Things like Wednesday walks for all the staff, Netflix natters. We've started doing a lot of mindfulness as well. Your staff will have the main talent. We had a whole day where staff just came together in a festival and showcased what we could do to make other people feel good. We had people who are skilled at hair and makeup and vice versa. So I really want to get across here, it's those really simple strategies. When we put them holistically together, it really does change an entire workplace. We're lucky enough that I've been able to train in mental health first aid. So this is a really multidisciplinary thing we have going. What we've done is trained numerous members of our workforce now. So not only can they help out students, but it really equips them with the tools to recognise their own well-being, to recognise coping strategies, to recognise when they may need to step back. And our feedback from this has been absolutely phenomenal. We now have a network of over 100 mental health first aiders who are equipped with so many skills that they may not have been before. So it's involving the staff. We don't want people to be afraid of mental health. We want them to buy into it. Following on from this, we're
2 minutes left.
Yeah, in widening participation with technology. We want people to participate in health and well-being. I know, we all know as professionals in the mental health field, it's not just 9 to 5. So we didn't want to put this on a workforce, but what we did want to do is provide 24/7 support where we could. So we've invested in Big White Wall. It works for students and it works for staff. They can log on at any time, day or night, receive professional advice and talk to other people as well. So we've really utilised modern technology and innovation as well.
And that's the end of our presentation, and hopefully you will see that, you know, we have gone beyond. We've created this model where we think we can simplify, and we genuinely feel that we're changing the narrative, changing that and championing best practice and changing perceptions. So that's it from Weston College. Thank you.